Hey, how's it going? On this episode of Home Water Dispatch, I am on the north shore of Lake Ontario. This is a place called 16 Mile Creek. It is a place, and I'm fishing for smallmouth bass, and also happen to be picking up some creek chub and some common shiners, and there's some white suckers down here. It's hot, it's August. I'm not going to be targeting trout in this area. We're in eastern Ontario beforehand, fishing for smallmouth and largemouth bass. It's way too hot, right? The water temperature's warm. I'm easily wet wading in this stuff. And it's time to target some of these warm water species and these little micro species that are still fun to catch on a 4-weight or 10-car rod, like whatever. It connects you to nature, it connects you to place, and helps build that agency and that voice for protecting these places. And this is what this place represents for me. I grew up along the North Shore in Mississauga, which is a little bit that way. It's sprawl beyond belief now. I forget the population density of the greater Toronto area called the Golden Horseshoe. It was like 7 million or something like that. It's changed a lot since I grew up here. Do I like it? Not really. It's sprawly, it's box stores and all that stuff. But there's still these natural places to get to and to access. I'm going to also show you, I'll flip the screen around. It's urban suburban, right? There's a bridge up there that was there when I was a kid, but there's another one behind there that wasn't there when I was a kid. This place is built up. It's called population growth and greater population density and sprawl, and it's kind of, it's not really for me. And going back in time though, when I was in my early teens, maybe even before there, I spent a lot of time down here chasing smallmouth bass, and actually doing a Boy Scout camp just up the river where it was in the fall and we had a massive rainstorm and we pitched our tent in a little side channel that got flooded out. We were wet for like 2.5 days, and those experiences really stick with me and they help shape me, and that it just reminds me about how this place hasn't changed very much, this valley, and I think that those experiences really helped shape my connection to fish in a big way, and thinking about the way that this river is nested in the broader watershed on the north shore of Lake Ontario. After I spent time here, I went off to do my undergraduate and my master's and learned more about the pollution that was in this area in the 70s and 80s, PCBs and all sorts of nasty stuff. And then I was connected back to this place and the fish and the visceral feelings I had for the fish here. And it's like, how dare we? How can we pollute places like this when there's so much value in the fish and so much value in the environment? Not necessarily to harvest and eat, but I guess you could if you wanted to. But just for that connection to nature and how that builds a sense of purpose, especially when the essence of these places really touch your heart, right? And to think about how that influences our perspective and our outlook on life, how it maybe saved us a lot, sort of the backstory. My childhood was not easy, and these places took care of me, right? This is, a second home, and that feeling has not gone away. It's only gotten stronger. And so coming back to these places are super sentimental. It's awesome to bring my son with me to experience this. And to think about how we teach about this and how we talk about it and how we encourage people to get out in nature spaces, even in ones that are relatively urban, how we create, learning to fish programs or hiking or backpacking for, urban suburban youth, and how that builds capacity for their connection to place, their health and well-being, getting away from their phones and devices and social media, and then developing that sense of themselves and that connection to nature and that responsibility for these places as they grow up. And I'm just super grateful to be back here to think about this as we then wrap up today, and then tomorrow head off to downtown Toronto for the Rush concert, the 4th of 4 shows in Toronto. And that's also going to touch my heartstrings in a very, very big way. That sentimentality is really important, and we can't forget about that. Anyway, I am going to wrap up here and go to try to catch some more smallmouth down there, and likely get some creek chub bycatch, but I don't care. It's a lot of fun. So ponder the way that you connect to nature, and think about how that can amplify your voice when it comes to protecting places like this, even if they are surrounded by sprawl. Anyway, lots to think about. All right, see you next time on an episode of Home Water Dispatch. Bye.